So many people in the comments section have told me that their blood pressure went down after they got divorced, which sounds good to me, but is there any research to show that being single is actually better for your blood pressure? So I did a bunch of research, went on the internet, because where else are you going to find this information? Tried to get some legitimate sources of, do they study these things? And they actually do. Let me read to you some things. Happily married people generally have lower blood pressure than single people. Isn't that an oxymoron? Happily married people? That's a joke. But one study, married people had a 24-hour blood pressure that was 4 points lower than single people. Interesting. Single women have a 28% higher risk of hypertension than married women. Well, that's because they're going to walk away with half, right? The married women are they have a lot more potential. That's what people think. Divorced and widowed women have an entirely higher risk. So divorced women have a higher risk of high blood pressure. Widowed women, and the old joke is, why do men die before their wives? Because they want to. In one study, high marital quality was associated with low blood pressure, less stress, and less depression. In another study, loneliness was associated with a 5 millimeter of mercury increase in blood pressure. So in other words, and I've noticed this, that most of the people on my channel that say my blood pressure went down when I got divorced, they were men. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. So the caveat to all of this research is that they keep saying happily married people, as if that's a guarantee. First of all, statistically, where I live in America, over half of people that are married will end up divorced. Now, essentially what that means is we're assuming they're getting divorced because they're not happy, right? They'd be happier alone than being divorced. So right off the bat, that means that over 50% of people that are getting married are going to end up very unhappy. So now you've got this, let's say 49% of people that we're assuming are still married. But what percentage of them are happily married? That's a good question. I did some research, but I couldn't find it because it's just an estimate. Because like Harry Met Sally, when the woman says, "We're happily married, aren't we, George?" George just sits there and goes, "Yeah, I'm happily married." How do you know? So it's a kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to say that I have been blessed in my life, that I am truly happily married. That doesn't mean I walk around running through daisy fields going, "Yay, I'm married," because marriage, it doesn't work that way. But I've been fortunate, but I have a lot of patience. And I'm no freaking psychiatrist. Stop telling me all your woes and problems. Just let me deal with your physical problems. That's what I'm good at. But just like a hair salon or a dental assistant or a psychiatrist, people tell me all their problems. And so many people come in and say, "Oh my God, I'm getting a divorce. Thank God. I hate that SOB. He's such a lazy bum." Or the men say things like, "Ugh, she never puts out. I hate her. Her cooking sucks." You know, all these things. They tell me these things. So this is not me saying it. These are other people. And I think to myself, wow, so you're just going to be single? You know, you'd be happier being alone than being with this person? And some people, I've met these people, I'd be happier being single as well. The divorce rate is extremely high, and many people who get divorced, there's usually one person who's happier and another person who's not so happy, maybe didn't see it coming. There's very few mutual divorces. I've seen one in my life where the husband and wife, luckily they didn't have any children, looked at each other one day and said, "Screw you, I don't like you, The other one said, hey, that's interesting. I don't like you either. Let's end this, split everything 50-50, no lawyers. Let's just get out of this relationship. And both of them moved on. That's an unusual thing. Most of the time, it's like War of the Roses. So if you want to lower your blood pressure by at least 5 millimeters of mercury on average, become happily married. How does one do that? Flip a coin.